What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? The ACMGS Gamer here, and as usual, these days, we have another Star Wars Outlaws video. This time, it is two separate articles. Once again, just like yesterday's video, I feel like Game Informer, just like when Jedi Survivor came out, they're going to keep updating us with different articles up until the game comes out, but who knows? But today we'll start with a short article that I will probably go through the entirety of because it's a short article. And this one comes from tech4gamers.com. So that it says Ubisoft is tackling all parts of Star Wars fantasy in its latest release. It's said to be the most detailed game the IP has seen, and a new interview outlines how this detail extends beyond the planets. The game contains space exploration as K-Vess takes to outer space on her ship. According to the game's director, space will not be empty, offering plenty of exploration opportunities. And the author says why it matters, which is, obviously Starfield, because, it was this big thing, like, oh yeah, you can go and explore entire planets, and there's 1,000 of them, and they said, hey, we're looking at what Starfield's getting right now, we may want to add some more content. So it matters because it's not frequently found in AAA games. Ubisoft and Massive had a major opportunity to cater to fans who enjoy the space game. During a recent interview with Game Informer, Garrity, who we know well on this channel, talked about things players can do while flying the ship through the game. He wanted part of the game to be fun and didn't want to make space an endless void, since that would be boring, according to the director. Their take on space offers multiple things, and he said every planet we wanted to have an orbit around it with lots of points of interest. So to me, that's very Lego Star Wars-ish. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the new Lego Star Wars game, every time you entered into an orbit, there was always something to do there, random events and encounters. So it'd be interesting to see if there's like space stations we can visit, or just who knows what they're gonna give us in the space open world aspects. Garrity continues, and it says, activities in space will range from heart-pumping dogfights to curiosity-evoking exploration. This could also mean that space may become a catalyst for more interesting quests throughout the adventure, making it more than just a backdrop for the biggest locations. Garrity continued that they developed fully populated with different things to do for every orbit to make this goal achievable. Since they didn't want to create an endless space, players can hyperdrive from the orbit of a planet to the orbit of another planet, making it an enjoyable experience without going too overboard, i.e. Starfield. So they're basically saying you don't have to travel through the different systems. You can literally just hyperdrive from one orbit to another, which is kind of nice, because especially for exploration, I don't know how they're going to do it, but per se, you're going through the game, you've already completed the game, and you're just doing the open world activities. That'll be really nice if instead of, oh, hey, I don't need to go to the planet because I've already completed the planet and I'm done with the story, but I need to do all the orbital stuff and just be able to fast travel or hyperdrive over there. So, they continue. Recently, it was also reported that Outlaws is leaving the traditional open world maps. Yep, looking for more natural exploration, offering distinctive experience from typical Ubisoft games. Towers, they took out the towers. It's going to be more of a fog map from like Ghost of Tsushima, where the more you explore, the more the map is unlocked. And they go, looking at the details revealed by the team so far, we are excited about Outlaws as it appears to offer a promising experience. The game might eventually end up as Ubisoft's most unique release in the last few years. And it goes, the promise of an exciting space exploration is indeed worth anticipating and will deliver August 30th. Now we do have another article here. This one is actually by Game Informer. Link down in the description down below for both of these articles. Also, there's about half of the article of this one that I'm leaving out because I'm not really interested in it, but you guys might be. As you know, Kay has a little companion like BD1 is to Cal, and it's called Nyx, and I didn't really care to get into the details for this video, so if you want to check out Nyx and her description, all the little neat things that they did with her, you'll see that in the description down below. So this is going to be about Kay, And they say she is a pickpocket turned thief who gets in over her head and winds up with a bounty on her head. So she ends up going and having to steal from the person that put the bounty on her head to pay off the bounty. I know, cool. So Kay is described as a resourceful underdog rather than the trained soldiers that starred in The Division. Massive wanted to create a game with a unique perspective with that universe. Several games put you in the shoes of a lightsaber-wielding Jedi or the Empire-fighting Rebel, but fewer let you play as the archetype that stuck out to Massive, the Scoundrel. Now, see, this is where it's interesting, because when I say this, I mean it. Nobody expected a single-player Star Wars game. Everybody thought that the Massive game that they were going to come out with was going to be a multiplayer Star Wars Scoundrel game, not single player. So it's very interesting that they kind of had this idea to be a Scoundrel from the beginning. But it's very interesting that they decided to go the complete opposite and sink their teeth into not a multiplayer game. The Scoundrel is personified by Han Solo, and they didn't want to retread the ground of the original trilogy by making it a Han Solo game. They really couldn't have, because then they would have been altering canon, and that is a whole ship that they don't want to go down. Not once did that come up. We wanted to tell different stories with different main actors as well. He says, we felt that one of the venues in Star Wars that's been explored as much... We felt that one of the venues in Star Wars that recently hasn't been explored as much is that of the Scoundrel character. That is true. A relatable character, a rookie kind of taking their first steps into the galaxy, exploring the world, and really getting involved with the people and factions that make up the fabric of the galaxy. That was something we knew very early on we wanted to pursue, to have that personal story and really make the galaxy come to life. You could have also done that with The Mandalorian, and you could have done a Mandalorian game, but you didn't. You didn't. Let's see. Kay is also described as a scrappy underdog. He's going to use every trick in the book to get out of a tricky situation. Sometimes the Scoundrel should avoid getting into combat, so stealth becomes incredibly important for us as well. It's very interesting that they actually did think about that. They said, hey, we need stealth elements. How are we going to do that? Well, the player can choose whether they want to or not. She has to pull off the ultimate heist to attain freedom. Because of her resourcefulness, cunning, and scrappiness, she can approach situations both stealth and gunslinging. The choice is often up to the player. That's kind of nice, but, you know, for it being a Star Wars game, I'm assuming most people are going to have the mentality that I do, where I am going to go full-bore stealth until I mess it up, and then it will be time for the gunslinging. Because I'm assuming I'm going to get caught in almost every encounter. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. We put a lot of care into her design and what she's wearing and how she looks to tell her story. She has a lot of elements in her design that tell a bit of her story. For example, she has a broken nose. She's been through a lot. You can see that she has scars and stuff. She also has a hairpin. I love that element because she uses that to lockpick doors. You can use that from the beginning to do some thieving. I wonder how often we will encounter those lock-picked doors. Be interesting to see the minigame that they put up with. I think it is very relatable as a human being on planet Earth that this character doesn't have any magical powers or properties beyond her daring, her skills, her tools, and her buddy Nix. The personality type is also perfectly suited for going on a swashbuckling adventure. I think there's something I really resonated with thinking about this character in terms of building a game and gameplay around it. You know who else has a perfect personality type? The Mandalorian. Anyways. She's somebody who is very much a street thief who gets thrown into things that are beyond her control and that she kind of has to think of her way out of. And that makes it a little bit more relatable than somebody who has all the confidence and sarcasm and just comes off as somebody who's not believable. So having her be relatable in that way was something extremely important for us. So now down here, all of that little bit there is all about Nix, her buddy. Like I said, if you want to, it's that furry little critter up there. Like I said, if you want to learn more about Nix, go to the article down in the description down below. So we learned a little bit about Kay and her character and their development, and then in this article we learned about how space isn't just going to be space, but there'll be other stuff you can do in orbit. You can hyperdrive out of there. You're not forced to stick with one. So that's good to know. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, yesterday's video, I will keep you guys updated with all the new articles that come out. I assume there's going to be more. And different people have different takes on different things that were said, so that's why usually I give you guys all the information. These two separate articles had similar information in some instances, but with the Game Informer one, it was literally the whole K thing, and then the Tech for Gamers was the thing about space. But both of these things came from the same interview that I have yet to watch, and I don't think I want to, because I'd rather cover the article for you guys, and that's how I get content these days. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.